everyone, welcome to Cooking with Chef Rich. Today we're going to be making some chocolate covered strawberries. One of the strawberries that I'm I'll use the word famous for is I make tuxedo strawberries. I've been making these for 20 years. I used to work in a Hotel Pierre and that's where I learned how to do them, and people love them. They're very, very cute. Here I have some strawberries. What I've done with these strawberries, and I've told you that you can't get chocolate wet. So I actually take a brush and I brush each one of these because you do have to get the strawberry clean because they are dirty. The next thing I've done is I've stuck a toothpick in the middle. So when I dip it, I can grab the toothpick as well. So what we're going to do is these are going to go about 3/4 of the way. Should actually get a bigger bowl for this, but this should be fine. Then I'm going to do the bottom. I'm only going to be doing about 4 or 5 of these, like this one. Shake off some of the excess chocolate. Wipe the bottom. I know some of you are saying, well, the bottom's not going to have any chocolate, or it'll have just a little bit of chocolate, which is fine. The fact of the matter is these are relatively sweet because they're also going to get milk chocolate. So it'll be fine if the bottom doesn't have a lot of chocolate. It helps actually if you have a bit more chocolate. I really didn't melt enough, but this is fine. Fine for demonstration purposes. Pour them. I'm going to do just 2 more with the white. These we're going to put in the refrigerator to set, and I'll show you what they look like in a little bit. So I finished with the white chocolate ones, which I will finish later. 2 of these are just going to get white lines with milk chocolate. So that's going to be this one and this one. We dip them the same way. And these 3 are going to actually get coconut. So I have some coconut over here. We're going to dip them. And just straight in. If you're doing a lot of these, don't put too much coconut in the bowl, because when you dip the chocolate in, the coconut gets all, I'll use the word mucky for lack of a better word. If you look at it closely, you can actually see like there's bits of chocolate in there. And these are going to go in the refrigerator. So our white chocolate is now set, and we're going to take 3 of these. And if you look at this motion, like imagine driving a steering wheel where you go like this and you go like this on the steering wheel. That's what we're going to do exactly with the strawberries. And as I said, we're making tuxedos. So I'm going to go like this, about 2/3, and then I'm going to that's going to be my tuxedo. So like this, like this, like that. And basically, when you do this, one second. I'll show you on this one, last one. When you're dipping, you want to go from here to here, and then from here to here. So like 1, 2, that type of motion. 1, 2. You want to dip as far down as the top of the white chocolate, and as far as the top of white chocolate, and then that will give you that nice V. Those I'll show you what we're going to do in a little while. These I'm going to put back in the refrigerator. Working on our chocolate covered strawberries, the next thing we have to do is learn how to pipe, which is a treat. I say that a little bit sarcastically. It's actually not that hard. It just does take some practice. This is a piece of parchment paper. I just kind of cut it that way. And I want it to be about 8 to 10 inches. So I'm going to cut that. You definitely want to use a sharp knife when you do this. And then I'm going to just cut this at an angle. It does have to be a nice clean cut. And I'm going to show you how to make a piping bag. Okay, so you notice that this is the long end, this is the short end, and this is middle. Across from this point is where your point is going to be. If you take this piece and you bring it up and just kind of keep rolling it. Round and round. Now you notice there's a big hole right there. If you kind of just bring it down, the hole gets smaller. So you have a nice fine point there. And then you just take this and tuck it in, and you have a piping bag. Now that hole is actually way too big to pipe with. You want it like a very fine tint. So you just kind of go like this and it'll get smaller. If you go the other way, it gets bigger. So we're gonna do the same thing over here. We want the point of our piping bag right there. So we're gonna bring this over, or bring this up I should say, and kind of make a circle. And then we're gonna just keep wrapping this around until we have a piping bag. Like so. I'm gonna tuck this in. And then, like, you'll notice that it's a very, very big hole at the bottom. If you just kind of like pull up over here, it gets smaller. And you really want like a pretty fine point to pipe with. So that's how you make a piping bag. And I'm gonna show you what to do with it in about a minute. So we have our piping bag. I have some milk chocolate over here. I'm gonna put just a little bit in. You don't need tons of chocolate. That's probably plenty for the amount that I'm doing. The crease should be right in front. And then I'm gonna basically just take this and fold it over. So I have a piping bag. And then I'm gonna just try it out to see what my line looks like. Make sure it's a little bit thick, but it'll be all right. So I'm gonna come over here right next to you. Imagine doing an 8, like we all know what a sideways 8, I'm sorry. This is a sideways 8, okay? Now imagine instead of being rounded at the edges, we're gonna actually go like this. This is actually way too thick, but. And that's what our bow tie is gonna look like. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, I'll be right. All right, so we're gonna go down. Then we're going to go up, then we're going to go down again, then we're going to go across. Then we're going to fill in the little holes, and then we're going to put some buttons on, and we have a tuxedo strawberry. Same thing, down, up, down, and across, fill in the holes. 2, 3. And one more. So that's for that. Hold that thought. So now we have these 3 white ones, and I'm just going to kind of go across with the chocolate at an angle. The same way I did the coconut, you can also do nuts. You can toast off chopped almonds, walnuts, pecans, anything like that, and dip them in nuts if you like nuts. So that's that. With that thought. So over here I have some white chocolate. I'm going to put that in my other piping bag. I'm only doing 2 strawberries, so I only need a drop. Once again, the crease of my piping bag is in front, and I always go towards the front of the crease. To try it out, make sure it works. This is definitely a little bit better. You notice it's a bit of a thinner line. And once again, the same like I did with the white with the chocolate. This is gonna be chocolate with white. This piping bag is definitely a bit better than the last one I did. The other one, the lines were a little bit thick. This was definitely a little bit more ideal. Just a little bit lazy. Oops. So that's that. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I'm going to put it on a plate and show you what it looks like. All right, so the strawberries are now set. Make sure you take out the toothpicks. You don't want somebody biting into a toothpick. Anyway, I took out the toothpicks, I put them on the plate. You can see how they look. A couple of things about buying strawberries. Always buy strawberries that are cold. Sometimes I'll walk into a supermarket and they have them just sitting out on a shelf, like to try to sell them faster. Never buy strawberries that have been sitting out. Strawberries need to be refrigerated at all times, or they generally die within 24 hours. When I say die, they get all wet and mushy, and basically they're garbage. If you're eating these now, great. If you're not eating them now, if you're eating them tomorrow or tomorrow night, whatever, make sure you refrigerate them. They'll sweat a little bit, but that's fine. It's better than biting into a mushy strawberry. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching. Be well.